That's good. Now that I am off my cleanse, I feel like this has been well deserved. That Pilsner was calling my name during that 26.2 miles. Well, it was back in August that I decided I really wanted to pull the trigger signing up for the LA Marathon.
26.2 miles. That's how long the Los Angeles Marathon is. And throughout the day, we saw thousands and thousands of runners, starting off at Dodger Stadium, ending up here in Century City. As with any of the 22,000 or so runners on the Dodger Stadium to Century City route, there are adversities.
So running a marathon has always been a bucket list item of mine. It's been something that has been calling my name for a long time. And I figured if I don't just pull off the Band-Aid and do it, I don't know when it's gonna happen. I thought it was gonna get me really grounded and focused, be a great opportunity to do a cleanse and just get as much accomplished as possible. I thought accomplishing a big goal like that would motivate me and inspire me to keep accomplishing more. Also, another thing that was like really inspiring for me is that both of my parents have run marathons. My dad was a big runner. His fastest time was 2 hours and 50 minutes. He was basically sprinting the entire time. Very inspirational. But I've always wanted to run a marathon with him, and hopefully that'll still happen one day. But I wanted to do it regardless. So I looked up the LA Marathon and I just pulled the trigger. All right, guys, it's 7:12 p.m. There ain't no rest for the wicked, so we're gonna get after it. I'm gonna run an hour and a half straight. I'm feeling pretty good about it, feeling pretty confident. My feet are a little sore from running the last 2 days, but I got an hour in yesterday without stopping 6 miles. I'm gonna go for about 9 today, so I'll check in with you, let you guys know how it's going. I told some friends, a little bit, not very many people, that I was running it. I know my business partner and good friend Yosuke. 30 minutes straight today with my business partner Yosuke. I told him I was doing it. I think everybody was like, okay, are you training? Are you gonna get started training? So it took a couple months until I actually started hitting the training button. But that was probably 45 days before the actual LA Marathon is when I started my training. But first we gotta stretch. I've been feeling a little bit tight, going pretty hard, just starting training. So before I start doing these 9 miles, I'm gonna get some good stretches in. I just tried to get out there as much as possible and make sure that I was keeping my stamina up and working on my cardio. In the very beginning, when I started running the first like 30 minutes or an hour, that was actually some of the first hardest runs. I think just training my mind mentally, like you can do this, getting used to it, putting yourself through that and just finding your rhythm. But those first few ones on the treadmill at the gym, I don't think I had my headphones. 1 hour straight running, 733 calories burned. Let's go. And so I was just running, watching my watch all the time. And I was like, holy crap, how am I gonna keep doing this for another 30 minutes, for another 30 minutes, for another 30 minutes, for another 30 minutes? It was definitely something that took a lot of focus and discipline to make the decision to have my body at top performing, condition. All right, we just finished the hour run. Feeling really good, actually. Feeling more control of my breath than I was last week after my 30-minute runs. Gonna keep it going this week. So my plan is to run a half marathon by Thursday or Friday of next week. So see how it goes. Some of my first runs were like 30 minutes. Then I went from 30 to an hour to an hour and a half. Then I ran for 2 hours straight, which was about my first half marathon. After the half marathon was done, I felt really inspired. I wasn't too sore and I felt good. I felt like I should keep running. So I think it definitely let me know, I can do this. All right, guys, we're here at Dodger Stadium. We got 1 day until the marathon. Just picked up my lucky number from the Health and Fitness Expo. Let's go. During this journey of the marathon, I was getting blisters on my feet. Yep, the blisters are definitely starting to form. That was kind of one of the first things that I was a little worried about. After I was pushing it a little harder, maybe like my 4th or 5th run, my ankles were getting sore. I was hoping that that wasn't gonna be an issue and I wasn't gonna have any like permanent ankle issues. I thought my feet were just gonna be wrecked. All right, so I'm at Roadrunner Sports, trying to get some good arch support shoes. I just got my feet tested on a system where you stand and it shows how your arches hit the ground. What they've chosen for me is either the Brooks with high arch support or the Hoka's. I think I'm eyeballing these right now, these bad boys. You know, I had to get up really early, probably about 3:30 in the morning, and then I drove to a parking garage in Century City where all the runners were parked. And then you meet all the runners at about 5 a.m. and the race starts at about 6:55. So you're there for a couple hours just standing around, making sure that your bib's right. And there's these massive crowds. So I found the time that I wanted to run the race in, my time group. And so I was standing there for a while and pretty caught up in all the excitement, how many people were there. Then the race starts and I just kind of started the pace and kept going, and then you start seeing people on the side of the road, and I had never experienced it quite to that magnitude. The support, people out their windows, out their apartments, you know, giving you water, giving you oranges, giving you bananas throughout this entire 26 miles. It was very inspiring to see the community come together. There was music playing, there was bands, there was people from high school celebrating on the side of the road, cheering you on the entire way. Halfway through, I started realizing like, okay, this is gonna be a long haul. Miles in, I just knew if I kept up that pace and I didn't try and think about how much further I had to go too much. I kind of just pretended like I had just started, that my lungs were fresh and that I felt good. So I didn't really try and keep dwelling on how much I had really gone. I kept trying to pretend like I just started this run. Because actually one of my very good friends, Dan, was watching the race on TV. And he actually saw me at mile 14. He got a video of me on the TV running at mile 14.
Wait for it. Alex!
And then he checked my time and he said if I kept going at that pace, that I would make it under 5 hours. It really helped keep me motivation to keep that pace going and keep moving forward. It started to get harder around mile 22. I knew that at mile 22 is when I was gonna see my family for the turnaround.
I'm waiting for Alex at the turnaround at mile 22. He should be here any minute. When he is, I'm gonna interview him and see what he has to say.
I was just wondering, like, when is this coming? You know, I was like, when is this turnaround? Because I was very excited to see my family at that point.
How you doing? Good. You want anything to drink? Huh? You want something to drink? Anything to eat? He looked good. He's got some too much fuel left in the tank. I think he needs to run harder.
He did a fantastic job. I'm so proud of him, and what a fun marathon to run, and welcome to the club.
The fact that he was still running at mile 22 and not walking, I'm very impressed.
Incredible job, Alex. I'm so proud of you. Way to go. You looked good.
But when I saw them, I was still feeling pretty good and I was keeping my same pace. And then I turn around and I'm, making that last final stretch, and mile 25, 26 is when it really started to get harder. Like I was really having to push myself to keep that same pace. I kept looking at the time on my watch, trying to break that 5 hour mark, which was my goal, was to run a 5 hour marathon. The last 30 seconds, I saw the clock and it was at like 4 hours and 59 minutes. And I just started sprinting, trying to get it at the 5 hour mark. I was starting to sprint as fast as I could. I mean, I probably wasn't running as fast as I thought I was, but it felt like it, just trying to keep my legs moving.
Wait for it. Look who it is. Alex!
And when I looked down at my watch, it was a second before, but according to my bib and the clock, it was at 5 hours on the nose. Okay, so check in. This is what I look after the marathon. 26.2 miles. There's the trophy or the medal. Let's go, baby. I want to thank my parents for coming out to support and all my friends. You know who you are. That pushed me along the way. Honestly, the feeling after running the marathon was just pure joy. And I felt very accomplished. I just couldn't really believe it that I ran 26 miles, that I didn't stop, and that my family was there. To have everybody together was a very special moment, and I'll never forget it. A lot of great memories were made. I'm enjoying a hobby that my parents very much enjoyed, and they've run many marathons. I think it was a great opportunity for us to come together and celebrate this as a family. I really realized how much I love setting goals, and that I want to keep doing that, especially when it comes to health and fitness. Sometimes it feels like, you got a Ferrari and you've been treating it like a Beetle all this time. So gotta make sure I'm, not drinking too much, cutting back, and changing the oil often. But I'm here now, I finished that bitch.